let me just break it down to a couple of sectors, there's different categories that are why people's coming to seek counseling during this pandemic issues is that one of that are these relationship issues. There are other areas that the people seek help because of finances, that they get laid off, the kind of things that get retrenched and they got themselves into this finance difficulties. Other areas like career represents a personal achievements. And I think that losing a career means, that a part of the achievements, they can't figure out anymore. They can't even know that where they're heading. And I think that has caused a lot of disturbance and in a lot of people's during this pandemic as well. And the others, of course, is health issues. Yeah, health issues, that a lot of frustrations, a lot of angers, people get laid off, that whether I don't know what's the reasons, but I guess that they know the reasons themselves when it comes to see me, that I have a lot of angers, a lot of frustrations, a lot of sadnesses as well, and it puts a lot of burdens on their body. And I think that the stress, the amount of stress that they take on, and that's why they feel that this is not the life that I want, and therefore that it nudges them to that go to see a counselor, go to see a professional. So let me just give one example, which is that let's say it's a husband and a wife, because of the pandemic issues, they have more contact times at home, right? And I think that that this contact times that it forces them to confront a problems which they probably in the past that they have no opportunity to talk about it, or maybe they don't want to talk about it, maybe they just don't want to talk about it and stuff like that. More contact times eventually means that that everything is going to spread out on the tables. Everything is going to be like that, hey, you know what, this is what we are going through. And I think that I never did tell you in the past because I was working, but then now that I'm coming back home, and a lot of things that is being forced, is being compelled, that I put it transparent between the couples. And parenting issues and other areas, parenting issues is a big problem. Whether there's pandemic or not, that to be honest, that I would say that different parenting styles, the husbands may feel that he has a certain parenting styles and he thinks that it is good and he wants to, to just, pass it down, to the line, to the generation line. Whereas the wife might feel that, that hey, what, this was not what I taught in my own family. And she also has a different set of parenting skills. And she would say that, that why don't you, that listens to me and then, that and see how it goes. So if the husbands were to be agreeable, I think it's not too bad. But if the spouses are not agreeable to, your parenting styles is not good. Examples, your parenting styles, I don't see how it benefits the systems in the family. Then I think that it will spark us a lot of, a lot of disagreements, a lot of conflicts. Then I would say, that bring out the reasons, that why did they first get into this relationship, get into this marriage. Bring them, sometimes that when a person is emotionally charged up, so high up there, they forgot about these reasons, that are why I choose you to be my partner. So I would say that bring out that awareness, that why did you get married in the first place? Yeah. And I would say that the other points that I want to just highlight is that marriage couples should look at each other like team players, like partnerships. You can't just look at each other like enemies. I'm holding a knife, you're holding a spear, and then that if anything would happen, I'm going to just plant this sword or this knife into your body. I think that's not very helpful, right? Isn't it? Yeah, I think that's very miserable if you were to constantly, that are holding on a lot of angers, holding on a lot of frustration, because that's what a lot of people outside they're feeling, that they hold on a lot of angers. They probably are doing something to distract themselves, they're not addressing the angers and why they're feeling the angers, not understanding that what makes them feel angry. All of these things, that it's internalized in them all the time. Yeah. If the anger that you don't resolve it, the anger is not going to go away somewhere. The anger is going to, that keeps in the bodies, and anything that you keep in here, it will expand. And over time, that these angers might become the real issues, because that is slowly gradually will consume your normal self. I would say, look, you're in this together. Back again, that you need to look at each other like, partners, right? Team players. And if you get angry, and if you get, it doesn't mean that you should not get angry, because that understanding that humans' emotions, being angry is just a part and parcel of life. You know what I mean? It never says that you cannot get angry. You can get angry, but what is wrong is that if you continue to hold that anger for a long time, that is not correct. Or you continue to hold on to fear, to anxiety, or any of these negative emotions for a long time, that is not okay, right? When the couples gets into conflicts, I think that it's very important to remind them that they should raise their voice. Not raise their voice, raise their point, but not raise their voice. Yeah, it's very important, and because sometimes the couples that get into arguments, they forgot about all this. And it's the counselors, duties to just, that reminds them, that you're in this together. You should look at each other like partners, team players. You should raise your point, but never raise your voice in this.